Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. FPL Consult here. Uh I'm late. I'm sorry for that. I came from a family gathering, but lots of things have happened over the past few hours, I would say, that I have not had time to react to or put out a video. So this is my first piece of content, I guess, in reaction to the double game week 25 announcements. And obviously, chip strategy wise, there's going to be lots of questions. All I know is my phone has been going absolutely crazy the past few hours with questions from members, from friends, etc., all asking what is going on in FPL right now. So it's complete havoc. And yeah, we have to break this down and try to help everyone here on today's stream. I'm going to try to get everyone's questions because I know surrounding chip strategy, particularly assistant manager, there's going to be lots and lots of questions. So thank you all for coming early. I am sorry I'm late. And let me just say hi to some of you guys in the chat before we start. Right, yes, happy Chinese New Year, by the way. Thank you for reminding me. Happy Lunar New Year to everyone who celebrates. Thank you all for coming early. Grain bread pastry, as always. Paul, nice to see you as well. VJ, Mark, Peter, ZY51A. Okay, funny story with ZY51. Yeah, I'll share with you guys in a bit. Becky, nice to see you. Nicholas, moderating the chat, very, very nice. Muhammad Lawati, Saiful, Alan, Seb Gold, Sydney, Pikachu, YJT, Davies family, Kaneki Ken, the entire FPL is copying you right now. Yeah, I know. I was on this chip strategy from the start, but it is what it is, right? Double Game Week 25 announcements just gonna make it such that everyone is going to be on this strategy. It's a bit of a bummer because I always felt like this was the strategy that I wanted to take, and then now with the announcements, I'm gonna share my reaction to it. But I think everyone just has to do it because the assistant manager chip is the most powerful chip in the game, and for you not to use it and pretty much get 5 fixtures, because double in 24, double in 25, and then single game week in 26, for you to not use it, you're pretty much going to lose out on a lot of points. So it's pretty much a case where a lot of people are trying to force the issue now. But I made the Game Week 23 transfer already with the assistant manager in 24 in mind. So at least for now, I'm not in a spot where people right now have to sell, for example, Cody Gakpo, sell Allison or Van Dijk for that to free up that third Liverpool spot, right? So I'll share more about it in a bit. I want to just address a couple of things first. So I want to give a shout out to ZY51A because I saw him as I was doing my Lunar New Year visitations, and he's actually my cousin's husband. So it's very, very cool that yeah, when I do the visitations and stuff, to just bump into someone who watches my content, and yeah, we had a really good time chatting FPL. So yeah, shout out to ZY51A. Thank you for all the support. And yeah, congrats on 11k. Yes, by the way, thank you everyone for helping us to hit 51k. 51k, 11k. Just before we started the stream, we hit 11k subscribers. So thank you all so much for helping us to hit this milestone. Let me just put the... I know I'm digressing a bit. I know you guys want me to share about the assistant manager chip and my reactions and stuff in a bit. So I just want to get all these out of the way because I wanted to do it on this stream. But basically, we are on 11k subscribers, like exactly. Right? So thank you all so much for helping us to hit this milestone. And yeah, to greater heights on this channel. All right, so with all of that out of the way, let's get on to the questions. All right, so I'll share first, before I get to your questions, I'll share first about my reactions to double Game Week 25 announcements. The first thing is, we kind of knew there was a chance that double Game Week 25 was going to happen, but no one knew, even myself. I don't have inside information whatsoever. This is completely like new information for me as well. I received it the same time that everyone else received it. And basically, it's a case where we knew there was a chance double Game Week 25 could happen, but none of us expected that the provisional announcement that we're going to get before the Game Week 24 deadline was instead of being a provisional announcement, it's a confirmation. It's a confirmation that there will be Game Week 25. My expectation was that it was going to be a case where they would provisionally announce one, which was the Liverpool and Aston Villa game to move to Tottenham versus Fulham game to move to Game Week 25. That was the only one that we felt was going to happen. But now there's so many more. And pretty much everyone now is trying to shift to this strategy. So I'm a bit bummed because I wanted to try and differentiate myself a little bit by going early on the assistant manager's chip. But it is what it is. Now everyone is going to activate it. And in terms of, just before I get to any of your questions, I want to just share my own thoughts. If you have triple Liverpool, I would go so far as to take a -4. That's the maximum I would go. I would take a -4 to get Arne's slot in. Essentially what I'm saying is if you have Trent and you have Salah, and you also have someone like a Van Dijk, for example, or if you have Alisson, or even Cody Gakpo, any of these three, or even Konate, right? Any of these other Liverpool assets aside from Trent and Salah, I would say that I would go so far as to take a -4 to sell those players for obviously players from other teams so that you free up that third spot for Arne's slot. That's my own opinion. But I also know that there are some people who are thinking maybe you just stick with your triple Liverpool and then you go with Everton. But the main reason why I think I would go so far as to take a -4 to bring Arne's slot in is because the market odds wise, they predict that obviously, even though Tottenham is winning 1-0 in the EFL Cup, that is more likely that Liverpool would be the one to qualify. They would overturn that 1-0 deficit in the EFL Cup, and therefore they would progress to the finals, in which case they would double in 25. So Liverpool is the only team, based on market odds, that would have both a double in 24 and a double in 25. So I think just because that is the most likely outcome, I think it is worth it to take a -4 just to bring Arne's slot in. It's also a case where I don't think someone like Cody Gakpo, over these 4 games, right? 24, there's 2, 25, there's probably going to be 2. I don't think he gets as many minutes. So I think slot is still the best third Liverpool asset to own. So I'll take a -4 for that. Anything more, I don't think I would do it. For free, I think it's a no-brainer, right? Then as for David Moyes, I think if you guys want to go there are strategies like David Moyes in 24, and then in 25, you can move to someone like Iraola, or there was another manager that I was looking at, Unai Emery. That's also a possible option. All right, so in general, that frames my thoughts and also my reactions to double Game Week 25, so you guys know where I'm at. Okay, and I apologize for going on a ramble, but I hope that was useful. And let's get to all of your questions. All right, before we get into your questions, please help me out and drop a like on the stream if you haven't already. That really helps us to reach more people. Okay, gotta catch my breath a little bit. Okay, drop your questions in the chat and let's get on with it. There's going to be lots of assistant manager talk. Liverpool have a chance to double-double? Yes, that is the most likely outcome. Is it time for slot? Most definitely. If you have a free third Liverpool spot open, I think this would be the most straightforward activation of a chip that you would have. Liverpool will double in game weeks 24 and 25 with slot staying assistant manager. All right, yeah. As I've said, that is the most likely outcome. Now a decision on the AM chip looks makes it look like you have some insider news about double gaming 25. Still think Man City versus Liverpool on 26 can be a good table bonus game if they fall to sixth place. Yeah, but I also do think like it depends, right? How many points have we gathered from 24 and 25? And then for me, that will decide whether I want to go more aggressive and go table bonus in 26 or go safe with a Teta. Yeah, congrats on 11K. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the support. Becky, happy Chinese New Year to you as well. How's it going, everyone? When should I play my free hit and bench boost? Well, not this week. This week, it's either assistant manager or triple captain. It's one or the other. Bench Clivert or Foden. I mean, Foden is at almost 9 million. It feels a bit crazy to bench someone like Foden, and he's on really hot form as well. It's tricky, but Clivert has the home game. That one is tricky, but I think I would feel a little bit better benching the cheaper player. Even though I know that that's technically not how we're supposed to make decisions, but I think if I put Foden down on the bench and he does well, it's just not gonna feel good at all. Gakpo to Ndai for a -4 to get the assistant manager on slot, or triple captain Salah and keep 3 Liverpool assets. Thoughts? Right, so I would take the -4. That's the thing. Like, that's how powerful I think this chip is. I would take that -4 to sell Cody Gakpo. I just wouldn't go so far as to take a -8. Like, for me, that is beyond the line, I would say. -4 is pretty much the maximum. Nicholas says, interested in seeing Leon's insight into double gaming 25. Yes, so I pretty much went on a huge ramble on that. You must have enjoyed that one. Good morning, Seb. Nice to see you. Vignesh, happy Chinese New Year to you as well. Pikachu. Toby, nice to see you. Let's go, Gameweek 24. Nathan says, yesterday's news gave me plenty of stress. Committing to triple captain 24, assistant manager 25, Spurs beating Liverpool will be huge for me. Yeah, I mean, that would be helpful. If you're planning to triple captain in 24, I think the next best opportunity is assistant manager 25, just because of how good the double is for Liverpool, if it were to happen, of course. Nizzy says, 51K comes soon. I hope so. Alright, double Liverpool, luckily, and sold Gabriel to Konza and got slot in. Yeah, I mean, those on double Liverpool, I think it's straightforward enough. It's pretty much a no-brainer. By the way, if Erwin is in the chat, Erwin is a member. If you're in the chat, let me know, because I promised that I would read out your question from our Discord on the stream, because I couldn't get to it because I was setting up for the stream as we were chatting. So if you're in the stream, let me know and I'll get to your question that you sent over on Discord. Right, I'm gonna have to apologize. I can't get to all the questions, but I'll speed through them, and if I don't get to your question, just help me out and type your question in the chat again. Had 2 Liverpool assets as well. Had to move Gordon out and Dango Tara in to get slot. Yeah, I would honestly... Wait, 2 Liverpool assets, then I don't think you need to make any transfers just to get slot in. Oh, by the way, when you're activating the assistant manager chip, the first choice of that manager is free. But so make sure you choose well, because after that, they start to charge you transfers for shifting your manager around. Like, say, for example, I have slot now, right? He's sitting right here. If I choose to change it to David Moyes, for example, that's going to cost me a transfer. So make sure that you're certain who you want as your assistant manager before you play the chip. Nizzy says, thanks for that. I'm in the no-brainer category, so I'll probably do Gakpo to Wissa and slot in. Yes, I like those moves. But if Spurs beat Liverpool, who are we going in to replace slot? So if Spurs beat Liverpool, I'm almost certain that I will go for Marco Silva instead of Ange Postecoglou, because I already identified um, Game Week 25 Fulham versus Nottingham Forest as a game that is eligible for table bonus, and also Fulham have very good odds to win that game. They're actually 46%, 43 to 46% to win that game. So table bonus wise, that game is going to be really, really good. That game is going to be really good. Okay, give me a moment. There's lots of you guys in the chat already. Thank you for coming down. If you haven't already, just please do drop a like on the stream, and also subscribe as well. Why not, right? All right, so I'm gonna try my best to keep up with the chat. Okay. Um. So wait, I have to address one of the members' questions, because I told him that I would answer the question, right? So this Irwin's team, um, basically it's Dubravka in goal, Kirkes, Konate, and Lewis Hall, and then Clivert, Salah captain, Palmer, Gordon, Rogers, and then up front it's Gakpo and Haaland. So basically triple Liverpool. And current team is as such, and already used free transfers for this game week earlier because he knows he's going to miss the deadline. So what's the best course of action? So as I've said, right, I would go so far as to take a -4 to sell your third Liverpool player to get Arne slot in. So I think the most straightforward move that I would go Irwin is to sell Konate, right? Defensive, I would sell the defensive assets first. Obviously, I keep Trent, but you don't have Trent. I would sell the defensive assets first. So I would sell Konate, and then I would free up the third Liverpool spot for Arne's slot. And thereafter, I would bring in place of Konate. I think you could go for a couple of other defenders right now, but I think you have Kirkes already. So the other options could be Konza if he doubles in game week 25. Right, so you have to take a bit of a gamble there that he will double in 25. Right, if not, I think that's pretty much it. You take a -4 to sell Konate for Konza, for example, and then get Arne slot in as your assistant manager. And I think you're good, right? And you set your team up. I think Colwell could come in for Kirkes. That's pretty much it. Right, so there we go with Irwin's team. Hopefully he caught that one. Okay, I'm gonna speed through the questions a little bit. I have to apologize. Do you think Trent can outscore Salah in game week 24? I don't think so. I don't think so because I think Bournemouth and Everton will do quite well. Moyes to Emery plus 3 Liverpool could do better. It really depends on whether one thinks Everton can get points versus Liverpool. I think the main reason, everyone's opinion is going to be different because everyone's opinion is going to be different based on your own team situation. Some people have triple Liverpool and 2 Everton players, for example. They're obviously going to be, and if your triple Liverpool is Trent Alexander-Arnold, Mo Salah, and Cody Gakpo up front, maybe you're very happy with these 3 Liverpool assets, in which case your opinion could be, I just go for David Moyes as my third Everton asset, and yeah, have maximum doublers for game week 24. Like that pretty much frames your opinion. And then for those with 2 Liverpool assets, they're obviously going to say, oh, getting Arne slot in is the best play for now. I honestly think because it's so team dependent, you have to take a look at what you're willing to sacrifice by activating the assistant manager chip. And I say again, if I was in any of the positions where I had triple Liverpool, I would go so far as to take a -4 to sell your third Liverpool asset, keep Trent and keep Salah, and then sell that player, whether it's Gakpo, whether it's Konate, whether it's Van Dijk, so that you get Arne slot in. That's pretty much my opinion. I don't think I would change it as well. And I also prefer it over David Moyes. That's the thing. And it's mainly because there's a very high chance that Liverpool double in 25 as well. So you are pretty much taking a hit for, I would say, an additional fixture in 25 as well. And then when you look at across the 4 fixtures, you obviously back Liverpool to do very well in them. The good thing about the set of 4 fixtures is that, yes, it might be difficult. Some games maybe Everton away is not easy, Bournemouth away is not easy. But I honestly do think like Liverpool are a team that you can definitely back to do well in those games as well. Right? So I fully think that, -4 is worth it. Right? If it's a -8, then maybe you go the other route. David Moyes for 24, and then you go Emery or Unai Emery or Iraola in game week 25. That's honestly what I think. Gakpo to Wissa to bring in slot for -4. Yes, I would do that. I would prefer the -4 over bringing David Moyes in for free. Why not play Greaves over against Southampton? I mean, that is the decision that I said in my team selection video I still have to make, so I haven't fully confirmed that. But I'll be honest, I think Greaves is still going to be where he is at on my bench. If anything, maybe he comes ahead of Robinson, but I think that's pretty much it. Because I don't really rate the Ipswich defense, despite Southampton being a rather easy fixture. And Southampton have been capable of getting, the odd goal here and there. They scored 2 against Nottingham Forest as well. Bench Rodgers or Clivert. I would bench Clivert and I'll start Rodgers. Bench Mateta or Ahmad. I'm benching Ahmad for now. Can you please say what teams are going to blank in 29? Because I already did the wild card before. I don't want to use the free hit. The teams that will blank in game week 29 is largely going to depend on the EFL Cup results. So if you want to go by odds-wise, then you would say that Newcastle and Crystal Palace are going to blank, and also Liverpool and Aston Villa. And that's pretty much the fixtures that would move to 25, just that the Newcastle and Crystal Palace one is going to move to 33 instead. All right, thank you very much for the super chat, Sammy. Quick question. By using the assistant manager, would we get 5 fixtures because the chip is played over 3 game weeks? Yes, you would get 5. You're right about that. You would get 5 fixtures. And that's pretty much why everyone wants to use it right now, because I don't think we will get another opportunity this season to have 5 fixtures on one chip. Right? Every other, chip that you play, I think you're limited to maximum of a double game week. Even your bench boost, if you use it in a double game week, you only get those 2 fixtures for that single game week. But because the assistant manager chip is played across 3 game weeks and 2 of them right now are going to be doubles, it is just such a clear and obvious move to use the assistant manager right now. Ricky, happy Chinese New Year to you as well. FPL Echo says, yeah, happy Chinese New Year to you as well. Point in the bank. Who should I sell to get Moyes, Emery, Silva, Eze, or Wood to who? I have to look at your full squad though. It's. I don't think I can answer based off of what your information there. Morning mate, how are you? Is it worth saving the triple captainship this week and going for another chip? I would ideally try to prioritize the assistant manager chip ahead of the triple captainship this week. Ideally, that is what I would do. Pool could lose versus Villa at Villa Park. Villa out of Champions League while Liverpool has 4 competitions. No table bonus for slot makes him less attractive. But I would take my chances that over these 4 games, at least Liverpool win 3. And even if they draw 1, say for example they draw the Bournemouth one, I mean, I'm hoping that's not the case because I have it on slot. But really over the 4 fixtures that they have right now, it's just very, very hard to back against slot. But for those of you who really want to just try and go different, even in this situation, and gamble on the fact that you want to go for table bonus in every single game week, I think that is fair as well. So it's really your own risk appetite. Also, if you're chasing, then that's going to change your play style of the chip. So yeah, it's very much team dependent, as I said. But my preference, as always, is going to be the fact that I prefer to have Arne slot this week, even if it means taking a -4. Okay, let me just see. VJ, thank you very much for the plug. If you guys haven't liked already, please do drop a like on the stream. There's already 206 of you guys here. It's insane. Insane. Thank you all for coming down. Bench Rodgers or Clivert? I would bench Clivert. Villa don't play Champions League last 16 until March. Yes, I do agree with that. And that probably means that they would get more rest as well over this period when Liverpool are going to play them. But would you still back Liverpool to do well in that game? I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say that it's not possible. I think it is, right? Like, rest is important, especially at the professional level, and fatigue could definitely set in. But I'll also say that Liverpool have players coming back, like Diogo Jota is now back. Everyone expected that he's going to be out for a while, but he's now back, which also adds a little bit more difficulty in predicting Cody Gakpo's minutes. Then you also have the fact that, Darwin Núñez is always going to be there. So, yeah, I think in general, I would just prefer... okay, so the point is that rotation is going to be available, right? So players can very well get rests. I think there's definitely chance for Gakpo, Luis Diaz, Jota and Darwin Núñez. Maybe Jota a little bit less, but I think it's perfectly viable for all of them to share minutes over these next few games and just basically put up consistent levels of performances. So I still back the chance that Liverpool would do well against Aston Villa. But that said as well, I don't think you guys would, especially those who are keen on Unai Emery, I don't think you guys would be opposed to taking the chance. So again, like fully dependent on your own risk appetite as well. Why did you choose Slot as the assistant manager? He's the most likely manager to get 5 fixtures, or at least 4 fixtures over the double-double. Crew Floppy, nice to see you. Just woken up from your afternoon nap. Alan, 3 Liverpool with 0 transfer. Should I use the assistant manager on Everton? Does it cost a -4? If you have 3 Liverpool players and you use it on David Moyes, it's free. It's completely free and you could do that. And it's a viable play as well. But what I'd say is that I would take a -4 to sell Cody Gakpo to go to Arne Slot, so that I have Arne Slot as my assistant manager. I would do that. But to answer your last question, it does not cost a -4 to activate your assistant manager and bring one in. It's completely free the first time. Man, this is... I'm struggling to keep up with the chat, but thank you all for dropping all your questions. If I haven't gotten to your questions, just please help me out and type it in the chat again. Should I sell Gakpo for Slot? 2 free transfers? Or just buy Moyes? I own 3 Brentford and I can't go Vissa. I mean, aside from Vissa, I think the other players you can consider is Iliman Njai, but that one feels like a very short-sighted move. I'm not super keen on the Iliman Njai move, but I see people making that move, but I'm honestly not too keen on that. I would rather go for someone like Wissa or Mateta. So if you already have Wissa, maybe you can entertain going for someone like Sorry, if you already have Wissa, you can entertain going for Mateta if you have the transfers to do that. Selection drama, bench one, Ahmad or Dango or Enzo from Chelsea. I start Ahmad actually out of these three. Honestly, I think Bournemouth against Liverpool tonight, I think it's going to be a closer game than we expect. Like, I know Bournemouth are doing very well. They just got 5 goals against Nottingham Forest, but I would also like to say that Liverpool are one of the best defenses this season. Aside from Arsenal, who are also putting up very good numbers, I think Liverpool is very, very close behind. So they are still one of the elite defenses, and I would prefer to start someone like Ahmad, basically. Ian, what's for dinner? I haven't even decided what's for dinner. If I can set my team up nicely, which I think it might, I think there are still a couple of benching decisions I have to make, but if I can set my team up nicely, before dinner, I'd be happy enough. I feel like I might be, thinking all the way until the deadline. Remedian says, hi Leon, happy Chinese New Year. Happy Chinese New Year to you as well. So far until Gameweek 23, I've taken 4 -4s. Do you think it's still worth it to take another -4 for Arne's slot? Basically, I think when you've considered your moves over the past few game weeks, I wouldn't let how many hits I've taken affect whether I want to take hits moving forward. Like, I'll think about it objectively, and do I think that if I take this hit now in 24, that over the next few game weeks is going to pay off? If you feel that's the case, then whether or not you took a hit last week, you should take it this week. It's more about objectively considering now at this point whether that -4 is worth it. Is that your team confirmed? Pretty much. I'm still trying to find ways to fit Ahmad in. I'm honestly just trying to fit Ahmad in. Surely you have to bear in mind the points you're losing out on by taking a hit to remove a Liverpool player who will have 4 games in 2 weeks themselves. That's the thing. That's exactly the thing. Is that player going to get 4 games in 2 weeks themselves? That's the reason why I think I would lean towards taking the -4. Because I cannot guarantee that Cody Gakpo is going to play all 4 games in those 2 weeks. That's kind of what pushed me to lean towards being more confident of taking the -4. Like, if I was in the position of having 3 Liverpool players. Already have Njai, thinking Vissa or Beto for Gakpo. I wouldn't go Beto, I'll just go Vissa. -4 and then assistant manager chip on slot. Yes, I would do that. By learning the news on FPL, I moved up early to activate my assistant manager chip on Arne's slot by doing Gakpo to Wissa for -4 as I had no free transfers and keeping Salah captain, Trent and Pickford as my doublers. Yeah, that's fair enough. Greaves in over Kirkes and Robinson. Is that a mistake? I would be tempted to try and start Kirkes, but I also understand why. Like, fixtures wise, I think I would, I think I would do that, Arne. Is it okay if I don't use any chips this week? The honest answer I would say is no. Like, you have to be using some form of chip this week, whether it's the triple captain or the assistant manager. It has to be one chip at least that is active for you. Week 24, Villa and Liverpool will not be playing the Champions League. I have Gakpo, Trent, Salah, and Pickford. One transfer and 1.7 million in the bank. Shall I sell Van Heck to Mikalenko for Moyes? Or sell Trent to free up? No, I don't think I would sell Trent. And then sell Van Heck to Mikalenko for Moyes. I don't think you have to sell Van Heck to Mikalenko just to get Moyes though. If you want to get David Moyes in, that is fine. Like you don't have to bring all three Everton assets in, like Pickford, Mikalenko, and Moyes. You could very well just have Pickford there, since you already have him, and then just go assistant manager Moyes. I wouldn't sell Trent, basically, to free up a spot for a slot. Okay, I think my computer is bugging out as well. Like if... Okay, give me a moment. The computer is bugging out. All right, I'm back. Let me know if you guys can hear me, because the computer lagged out a little bit. Am I back? Can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm gonna assume that you guys can hear me. All right, I'm gonna carry on with the questions. Would you do Watkins to Isak next week if Villa double? Yes, I would. I would make that move. I'm already eyeing up the double game week in 25, like trying to find ways to plan for that one. I think Isak to Watkins is going to be a very popular move next week. Thank you very much for the plug, FPL Diamond. Josh says, I don't even think Gakpo will start tonight. Should I start Ahmad? I have Rogers on. I think Gakpo probably will start, but maybe he won't get the full minutes. That's my expectation. As we've seen the whole season, right? Is it worth it to take a -4 to remove Gakpo to slot? Perhaps Vissa. I would do that. Yes, I would do that. Wolverine. Mooring Leon, I've already taken a -4. I take Clivert and Bumo in before the announcement. Should I take another -4? Ooh. In your case, maybe I would go assistant manager Moyes, you know. Not a fan of taking that many hits this week. Like, hits will be flying, but I tell you, for those who are not making transfers, you're already going to be ahead. You're already going to be ahead. One free transfer, 0.3 short from Gakpo to Vesa to bring slot in. Should I sell Wood to Njai or Raya to Pickford? Already own Mikalenko. If you were freeing up funds for that, Wood to Njai or Raya to Pickford? I think I probably go Raya to Pickford for that one, even though you already own Mikalenko. I think I would do Raya to Pickford to free up funds. Gabriel or Robinson to start? I would still start Gabriel. Question is, do you think going triple captain in 24 and then slot in 25 is better than just going to slot in 24 through a hit? So in that case, the comparison point, firstly, you're using 2 chips. Secondly, you're using 2 chips to navigate these 4 fixtures. I would say the double-double. Versus taking a -4 right now to bring slot in, have the assistant manager for both these 2 fixtures, and then use the triple captain later on. I think I prefer that. I prefer just taking a -4, I save my chip, and then I use triple captain later in 36 or 33. That's my preference. So answer is I think it is more worth it to take the -4 now. I am Spart81 says, hi Consult. Thanks for the early stream for those of us not on UK time. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. We always start early here anyways. -8 for assistant manager, Moyes a slot. I have Trent, Salah and Gakpo. I'll play the triple captain. I think in your case, I probably assistant manager Moyes. Vista for Chris Wood is not a transfer you have to make this week. I think the Liverpool-Bournemouth game will be 2-1 Liverpool. I think it'll be tight. You're right. I think it would be tight. Clement says, I have Trent, Salah, Gakpo, 2 free transfers. Sell Trent to Mikalenko to get slot and upgrade João Pedro to Watkins. No, I would prefer to keep Trent and Salah and sell Gakpo instead. That would be my preference. If you had to sell a premium from your team to bring Arne slot in due to not having funds, who would you sell? Premium, you mean Salah and Palmer or Isak? I wouldn't sell any of them. I would try to free up funds elsewhere. I went early to get Gakpo, still only have 2 Liverpool, but not enough money to afford slot. Do I downgrade Zaha? Surely that's a typo. Already tripled up on both Everton and Liverpool with a -4 hit as well. Would you take a -4 again and go for assistant manager chip? In your case, triple Liverpool and triple Everton. Will you take an additional -4? This one is tricky. If you have 3 Everton and 3 Liverpool, take and you've already taken -4, where you take an extra -4 for the assistant manager chip. What do you guys think you would do in this spot? I think I haven't come across this spot yet. Triple Everton and triple Liverpool. The ones I've seen is triple Liverpool, double Everton. Triple with the -4. I think I might triple captain, you know. If you have the triple captain chip, like I might triple captain in that case. Assistant manager for another -4. If it's on slot, probably. And if it's selling someone like Allison, for example, then probably yes. If it's Gakpo, maybe slightly trickier. Which manager are you thinking of getting for Gameweek 26? It's going to be either Arteta or, if I want to go safe, it's going to be Arteta. If I want to go different or try to go for table bonus, it might be Ipswich versus Spurs. But that obviously depends on whether or not Tottenham get their centre-backs back. Right? Because there are centre-backs that are coming back from injury for Tottenham. You would expect that after that, there might be a bit of a resurgence from them, I would say. Selling Gakpo for Visa -8 and bring Arne slot. -8 is rough though. If you're set on that, I wouldn't put you off it. Ian says, Leon, who would you bench? One of Ahmad, Kluivert, Pedro, Rogers. One out of them, I would say probably João Pedro. Is it okay to have Gakpo, Salah, Diaz, or should I go Salah, Gakpo, Diaz? I wouldn't be comfortable at all. I'd actually sell Diaz in that case. Free up the spot for Arne slot. If we have played the assistant manager chip this week, we can't play any other chips until game week 26. Yes, you are right about that because the chip is active from game week 24 all the way to game week 26. Should I sell Gakpo to Njai or Visa? If I go Njai, it allows me to go Watkins in game week 25 if he doubles. Well, the chances are that Aston Villa and Liverpool are the teams that will double in game week 25. So if you are keen on that, I don't mind going Gakpo to Ndai. It buys you an extra fixture, I guess, right now. Greaves to Mikalenko worth a hit. Should I just play Castagna or Munoz instead? Cheers and all the best. Greaves to Mikalenko worth a hit. I would say no. You can play either one of Castagna or Munoz. I would lean towards Munoz. Ahmad or Kluivert, I would start Ahmad ahead of Kluivert. Play Sar, Kluivert, or Greaves. Kluivert for sure. Gabriel or Milenkovic. Gabriel still for the goal threat. Why slot over Moyes for assistant manager? More likely to get one more fixture in game week 25. What do you think of a -8 to bring Slot and Njai? I only have double Liverpool. Even if I want to have triple Liverpool, I'll have to take a hit. Right, so firstly, I think you don't have to take a -4. Sorry, you're saying a -8, but I think you might be referring to a -4 because if you use the assistant manager chip, the first transfer to bring Slot in is free, right? So in that case, would you take a -4? Then yes, I would. ADS says, how do you feel now that everyone is using the assistant manager chip after you were going to use it regardless? I mean, it's a great question. I'm obviously bummed because I wanted to be a little bit different and just try a different strategy. And I truly believed as well that this was a strategy that was going to work. And I was kind of happy that people were not jumping on it. But I also hold my hands up and say that I never expected the provisional double game week 25 announcement to be so chaotic or so seismic that right now everyone is using the assistant manager chip. I never expected the provisional announcement to be this huge. So because of that, I can understand why everyone is jumping on it. It's just, yeah, I it is what it is, right? It is what it is. I'll probably have to find ways to go a little bit different elsewhere, but at least in terms of strategy wise, because I always was on assistant manager game week 24, such that my transfer in game week 23 was already tuned to that, then at least I don't have the issue of selling a Liverpool player, using my transfers to sell a Liverpool player like Gakpo, for example, or Alisson or Konate, just to free up that third Liverpool spot. So there's still advantage, I guess, that I've gained. But yeah, I think still a bit bummed. How do you guys who are on the assistant manager 24 strategy feeling? I mean, now that everyone is also using their chip, let me know in the chat. Start Foden or Rodgers? I still say it's tricky. I still say Foden. I mean, benching a 9.2 million asset just sounds insane. But for sure, Rodgers with the better fixture. Green Bread Pastry says, you're the greatest Sigma. Thank you very much. Happy Lunar New Year to you as well. Josh Yao, no problem. In a position where I just got Gakpo and I'm going to get rid of him to get Slot, does getting a manager count as an additional transfer and will I get a hit? You will not get a hit for the first manager that you choose. No deduction of free transfers or deduction of or -4s. Hall versus Gabriel, Jimenez versus Semenyo, bench 2. Hall versus Gabriel. I might bench Gabriel in that case and start Hall. Jimenez versus Semenyo. Just about Jimenez. Just about. Joha says, like your early streams. Thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in. Don't like it 100%, but Gakpo and Raya to Visa and Pickford for -4 to get slot. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Shashir Gaming says, suggest some transfers. I'm 4th at your league. That's incredible. That's incredible. I can only suggest transfers if I can look at your team, though. Have Van Dijk, Gakpo, Salah. Thinking to sell Van Dijk for a hit to get Mykolenko and then play slot. Yes, I would do that. Why slot over Moyes for assistant manager is basically that I think you get an extra fixture, right? You're backing the odds that Liverpool are the ones that are going to get the extra fixture in 25. Want to get rid of Trent instead of Gakpo? Do you think that's too much of a gamble? Yes, I do think so. I would try to keep Trent. Try to keep Trent. What a crazy game week. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, it's crazy. The phone has been buzzing like mad. Absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. By the way, if you guys haven't already, please do drop a like on the stream. Please do help me out by getting the stream to more people. The algorithm loves the likes. Becky says, still got 3 free transfers. I have triple in my lineup. If I assistant manager, drop Mykolenko / Ndai for Moyes or Van Dijk / Trent for slot. Replacements I'm looking at is Aina or a Chelsea defender or Delep as a forward or triple captain Salah. All right, so with 3 free transfers and you have triple, I think what I would do is to drop Van Dijk because I prefer slot as the assistant manager. So I would keep Salah and I would keep Trent. I would drop Van Dijk and then get slot in. And I also wouldn't look at Aina as the replacement because Nottingham Forest fixtures are pretty bad. So I wouldn't go for Aina. I'd actually go for either one of Kirkes or, okay, you have Mykolenko already. It'd be Kirkes or Konza. It'd be either one of these two. Yep. Thank you very much for the super chat. Ideal. Let me get to your question. Should I do Allison to Sanchez / Henderson for a -4 or Allison to Pickford plus Gordon to Rogers / Ahmad for a -8 to get assistant manager's slot? I would do Pickford, you get the extra fixture. Gordon to Rogers / Ahmad for a -8. Okay, I'm gonna say in this case, I prefer the -8 because if you go Gordon to Rogers, you will get that extra fixture in Gameweek 25 if Liverpool are the ones that qualify to the AFL Cup final. Because then Liverpool and Aston Villa will double in Gameweek 25. So I think I would lean towards, in your case, it's obviously team dependent for everyone else, but in your case, I would lean towards the -8. Allison to Pickford, Gordon specifically to Rogers because he's likely to double in 25. Yeah, I hope that one helps. Toby says, enjoy the chaos. Man, this stream has been mental. I was already expecting this though, like the chaos yesterday, absolutely crazy. Raya to Pickford, Gakpo to Vissa, and Wood to Njai, and get slot in for a -4. Hmm. I think yes. I think yes. Like those moves. Van Dijk, Gakpo, Salah. Thinking of selling Van Dijk for a hit to get Mikalenko, then play slot. Yes, I would just about do that. I would just about do that. Go Gakpo to Vissa to get slot for a -4. I could get Moyes this week, but won't have funds to get rid of him next week. I would take the -4. Like, I am not going to sit on the fence with this one. Like, I'm just gonna be like firm about like my thoughts on how I think it is worth it to take the -4. Like, for those who prefer not to take the hit, then you would say that Everton and going for Moyes, who's a cheaper manager, like you don't have to free up funds, etc., etc. Like, fair enough. I'm still of the opinion that that extra fixture in Gameweek 25 just makes it that much more worth it to get slot in right now, even if it's for a hit. Only 0.3 million left. Konate to Greaves, going to play him, got no money. Or Gakpo to Vissa to get slot. Defenders on the bench are Kirkes and Vandenberg. Um, I don't really like Gakpo to Greaves. That's the honest answer. But because you already have players like Kirkes, you are pretty well prepared for the next few game weeks. So I would say in your case, I would actually do Konate to Greaves. I would actually do this move, and then you play Greaves. But after that, from next game week onwards, 25 onwards, you drop Greaves down to the bench and you start Kirkes week in, week out. So I think that is probably the move that I would go in your case. Thoughts on Liverpool playing an informed Bournemouth away and the last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park? I see goals in both games. Good for Salah and Gakpo, but I see them dropping points and conceding. I am slightly of the different opinion there, where I think I don't see as many goals in both games. I could be wrong, but I think both games would be quite tight. Gakpo to Vissa and Raya to Pickford and get slot. Yes, I would make those moves. Clarence says, sell Gakpo to Njai for free and use assistant manager to get slot. Yes, for free, for sure. I would do it. If it's for free, that one is a no-brainer, I feel. Should I go Gakpo or sell Gakpo to get Vissa and get slot in? I don't know what to do. I would sell Gakpo to get Vissa and then buy slot. Ideal says, sure. Oh, I've answered this one. Femi says, thank you. Didn't know that the first assistant manager is free. Yes, the first assistant manager will be free. Ahmad or Rogers to start. I prefer Rogers for now. Gakpo to Vissa, BYD. Thoughts on using Moyes, assistant manager 24, and Emery 25 if their double game week is confirmed? I don't mind it. That's the thing. Like, I don't mind it. People who prefer that strategy, the reason why they prefer that is because you get 2 table bonus games. You get Moyes against Liverpool in Game Week 24 as your first table bonus games, and then in Game Week 25, you get Aston Villa versus Liverpool as your second table bonus game. But what I would say to that is also, are you very happy having table bonus games against Liverpool? Like, I honestly think that it's not super ideal, right? And people always think about the upside to the chip. But you also have to consider that you could very well walk away with 0 points on the chip if your team loses. Like, say for example, Everton lose 1-0 to Liverpool, which is possible. David Moyes walks away with nothing. So as much as you want to target table bonus, you also have to manage a bit of the, I would say, like downside protection, I guess you can call it, right? So I tend to just prefer to go a little bit safer. But for those who like to just err on the side of a little bit more risk, then, fair enough. You want to go for two table bonus games against Liverpool, like fair enough. If your read on that situation is different from mine, I completely respect that as well. Selling Gakpo for Ndai or Trent for Kirkes and using the assistant manager, I prefer selling Gakpo for Njai. Feel sick. I've just done a -4, taking out Trent before a double. I am not sure about that, but if you've done that move, I think you stick by it. Triple captain or assistant manager, preferably assistant manager. Start Semenyo or Ahmad. I would start Ahmad. 4K overall. Start Henderson. 4K overall is insane. Start Henderson or Sells. I have Aina. Spread the risk a little bit. I would go Henderson. Chinwei, happy Lunar New Year to you as well. Will assistant managers have the same points deduction if they get a yellow card or a red card? Whether or not the manager gets a yellow card or a red card, it does not affect how many points you get. However many points you get is completely based on, firstly, the results and the score. Whether it's a clean sheet for the team that you've chosen, how many goals that team has scored, and whether they win, lose, or draw. That's the only thing that affects. Whether the manager is suspended because of the red card or whatever, it does not affect you because you are buying into the team. Yeah, not really buying the manager. It's just a nice way to call it, but in essence, you are buying the team. Okay, I'm really far behind the chat. I have to apologize. I'm gonna skip through a little bit, and if I miss your question, please, I do apologize. Help me out to drop it in the chat again later on. All right, how do I activate the assistant manager chip? Firstly, if you're using the app and you haven't updated your app, go ahead and update your app. It's likely that you haven't done so. Once you've done so, you reopen the app. You can see the assistant manager chip playable there. You click play, and then from there on, it's pretty straightforward. They guide you through the process. But my preference is to play it on desktop and PC. So what I've done is basically just come here and then you click. I'm not gonna click it because I don't want to cause any issues or bugs right now. But you click it, and then basically they would have a button to say play the chip, and then they will guide you to bring and transfer your first assistant manager in. But just do bear in mind that once you've made your selection and you've chosen your manager, don't change it after that. Right, because you likely are going to spend a transfer on that. They will charge you a transfer. No Name says, how do you feel? Everyone is on the AM train and you were always doing it. Yeah, I mean, we've received this question quite a bit. I think at least the good thing, I guess, is that I'm more prepared for it because I planned for the chip already. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is. That's pretty much the conclusion. It does kind of I'd say, how should I put this? I do feel a little bit justified that at least the Gameweek24 assistant manager strategy that I was thinking of was the way to go. I obviously didn't expect it to turn out as good, but for at least the announcements that happened yesterday, for it to be justified in that sense, makes me feel as if at least, even though everyone wasn't doing it and I was doing it, that there was some logical reason to it still. right? Because I was getting like a bit of cold feet here and there when nobody was doing it, and I was the only one that was doing it. And then, yeah, I mean, it does feel a bit scary. It does feel a bit scary for sure when you try to go super different. But yeah, I mean, this is what it is. You try to go different, and yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out. You just have to find another way to go different later on then. Playing Ahmad over Mateta, don't like Palace's chances without Eze for creativity. Fair enough, fair enough. Like Eze is gonna be missing out. You're right, and Eze is a key part of that as well. Playing Mateta, Ahmad over Mateta though. Yeah, I mean, if that's your read, I think fair enough. Start Rogers or Murphy. Rogers. Is the Gameweek 25 fixture for Liverpool 100%? What if they get eliminated from the FA Cup? It's not 100%. If Liverpool lose, then what would happen is that Spurs and Fulham will be the team that double in Gameweek 25 instead. And Liverpool and Aston Villa would correspondingly not double in 25. So it's not 100%, but I think the more likely outcome, at least based on market odds, is that Liverpool are the ones that would double in Game Week 25. Along with Aston Villa, of course. Elijah says, morning, I have 2 free transfers. Would you do Gakpo and Sa out and Vissa and Dango in so I can get slot assistant manager? I can bench Dango this week. Yes, I would do that. I would. Especially if it's for free. Like, if it's for free and you're getting Arne slot in, just, don't even bat an eyelid. Greg says, consult selling Gakpo for Ndai or Trent for Kirkes and using the assistant manager on slot. Already Mikalenko, Pickford, and Vissa. I prefer the Gakpo for Ndai one. I would keep Trent. Okay, I'm going to speed up a little bit. Vissa or Ndai. I actually prefer Vissa if you can afford. Becky says, next question would be, want to bench between Elanga, Rogers, and Wood. Manifest the FPL hotness. I'd bench Elanga out of those 3. Ahmad or Rogers, and why? I prefer Rogers for the slightly better fixture. The Wolves defense is obviously worse than the Palace defense. Who finishes higher, United or Brighton in the Premier League? I don't know. It really depends like what's going on with Manchester United. If however they're playing right now is anything to go by, I'm gonna say it's coming close. Brighton just about. GT says, will you use 2 free transfers to switch Diaz to Gakpo? No, I wouldn't do that. You're buying 1 minute's risk for another minute's risk. How about triple captain Salah this week and assistant manager Chip next week? I'm not super keen on that. I'd rather you take a -4 now, and then you have the AM for 24, 25, 26, basically the double-double. Then you use your triple captain later on down the line. You can think of it as taking a -4. I know it wouldn't work out this way because you're losing some fixtures here and there, but think of it as taking a -4 to save your triple captain chip for later down the line. Who should I replace Gakpo with if I have 0.1 million in the bank? Njai or Raul Jimenez, then I would lean towards Njai. Who are you planning to switch from Arne's slot in 26 since they play City? It's going to be either Arteta or, for now, it's Kieran McKenna that I'm thinking. Martin, nice to see you. It's raining super heavily at my place. Yeah, it's insane. Aina versus Robinson. I would prefer Aina. Thoughts on Salah triple captain? AM 25 to 27 versus Moyes game week 24 and triple captain single game week. Prefer the latter, just about. FPL Yellow Army, nice to see you in the chat. Got to be Moyes for me. Fair enough. Fair enough. Toby. FPL Harry's live chat. I can tell. I wish I was in the land of ducks and he would not see it because it's just too fast. I think I do see most. I'm not super used to like having so many people in the chat. That's the honest thing. So I kind of miss some chats here and there. That's why I get you guys to just help me out. But yeah, I really appreciate like all of you guys coming down to the stream. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, please do help me out and drop a like, and also subscribe as well if you haven't already. We just hit the milestone of 11,000 subscribers, so yeah, we're onwards to the next 12,000 milestone. Christopher says, if you're chasing in your mini leagues like me, isn't it better to go for Moyes this week to catch up? Thanks for a great stream. Thank you for tuning in. Isn't it better to go for Moyes this week to catch up? You can think of it two ways. Like, there's always upside and there's downside as well. People always try to outplay the upside, but I'll also say that if it doesn't work out, then you're further behind. So I always just tend to cite the decision that is overall less risky. So I would still tend towards I mean, this could go either way, right? If ever it could swing very, very crazily, such that those who are on Moyes in 24, and say for example Everton really pull an upset against Liverpool, everyone is going to say it's so obvious, we should have played it on Moyes, there was a table bonus, it was the last Merseyside derby and things like that. Like, there will be all these hindsight merchants coming up, but I promise you that before the games have happened, that I would still just tend to cite the safer option. That's just the type of FPL manager that I am. Like, I like to manage downside while also chasing a bit of upside. Avoiding slot gives you two chances to punt on table bonuses, but those two chances are pretty much against Liverpool, right? Does a manager eat up a transfer? that's that's a good way to put it. The first one doesn't eat up a transfer. The second one onwards will. Like, once you have chosen and locked in your first manager, from there on they will start to charge you transfers. Sa or Rogers to start? I prefer Rogers. Okay, hold on a moment. Okay. Let me get back to the chat. Gakpo to Vissa or Watkins to free up a slot for assistant manager. Thinking Watkins could double in 25. If you can do Gakpo to Watkins, that is what I would do. Hands down. Hands down, that's what I would do. Because it's very likely that Aston Villa will double. I think for majority of the people, it's because they need a downgrade. It's because they need a downgrade. That's why they're going Gakpo to Vissa. And that's why I would also recommend Gakpo to Vissa. But if you can do Watkins, I would do it. My transfer likely for Gameweek 25 is going to be Watkins in for Isak. It's likely going to be that. I'll cover more of that in the team selection video. Cover more of that soon. I mean, enough to talk about like today. There's so much going on. All right, I'll be ending the stream in 10 minutes time. So if I haven't gotten to your questions, please do put it in the chat. I have to run off after this to get to the members Discord. Like there's lots of questions going on there, so I have to get to their questions. Justin says, I have the assistant manager shipment slot already. Will you take a -4, João Pedro to Vista? Otherwise, I have to play João Pedro or Sa this week. I wouldn't say it's necessary for a -4 that move. Do you think Beto will see more minutes now that Calvert-Lewin is injured? Probably yes, but is Beto that much? Is Beto that good of an FPL asset that you have to bring him in now? I don't think so. Apologize. I ask again to confirm. Bench 1. Enzo plays West Ham. Dango Liverpool. I want to say Dango just because XG wise, he's much better than Enzo. So I'll go Dango against Liverpool. Njai or Vissa? If you can afford, I would go Vissa. Keith says, are you from Singapore? Yes, I am from Singapore. Gakpo to die for a -4 or just get Moyes. If it enables you to get Arne slot, then yes. 137 likes. Are we there? Thank you all so much for 100 and we're on 148 likes now. Thank you all so much for that. I appreciate it. What to do if you have 3 Liverpool, 3 Everton, no free transfers? If you have the triple captainship, I would play the triple captain in that scenario. If not, I would sell 1 Liverpool asset, Gakpo / Van Dijk / Alisson, just to get slot in. Start Semenyo or Ahmad, I would start Ahmad. Everton's record against Leicester is actually so poor, and there's a possibility they might only get a draw in 24. I don't think the people on Moyes' assistant manager are going to like to hear that, but I think the truth at least is that this season, Everton are much better of a side than Leicester, I'd say. But I also wouldn't rule it out. Like, you make a good point. If you assistant managership this week, then when do you use a triple captain? Isn't it better triple captain 24, assistant manager in 25, bench boost in 36? There's also double game week 33. Yeah, we're forgetting double game week 33. 33. Would you TC 24, AM 25, or sell Gakpo to activate AM on slot this week? I would sell Gakpo to activate the assistant manager on slot this week. Greg answered your question already. I would sell Gakpo for Njai. Is it worth going Clivert in for Gordon so I can assistant manager slot, or should I just assistant manager Moyes? Clivert in for Gordon so that I can AM slot. Clivert in for Gordon doesn't mean that you can AM slot. I mean, you have to be selling a Liverpool player so that you can free up 1 spot for Arne slot. So maybe... Is that a typo in your question? -4 for Moyes or triple captain? I would have -4 for Moyes. -4 for slot, probably. Bench 1, Vissa, Wood, Rogers, Clivert, just about. Gakpo away this season, 1 goal, 1 assist. Yeah, it's all coming. The narratives are all coming. All right. We're going to call it a day very, very soon, but thank you all for coming down for today's stream. I really appreciate this one. Just before we end the stream, if you could help me out, please do subscribe to the channel. We are actually getting very, very close to 11,100 subscribers. It's crazy, right? So this has been a mad stream, but if you haven't done so, and if you do enjoy these streams and you want to see more of it, please do help me out and hit the subscribe button. It gives me a lot of encouragement as well, right? So if not, let me just speak about my team a little bit before I wrap up with your questions. Verbruggen against Nottingham Forest is still going to be the keeper that I choose. Trent and Hall definitely going to be in the starting 11 for me. Gabriel is a question whether I choose to start Greaves or Robinson ahead of Gabriel. But I think the main thing with Gabriel here is firstly, he has set piece threat. Secondly, Arsenal are playing at home. So I do actually back them to do quite well. Even though it's Man City, I do back the strong defense that they have. And I also think that there is a chance that Greaves could concede against Southampton. Like, it's just not... I'm not super confident of starting Greaves ahead of Gabriel. So, also with the fact that Gabriel is so highly owned, I think it's just starting Gabriel gives me a bit of downside management. And then midfield is Mbumo, Rogers, Salah, and Palmer. Not going to overthink the Salah captain. I'm trying to fit Ahmad in. I'm honestly trying to fit Ahmad in. And I might just do it for Mateta, for example. I don't know. I have to find it in me. But that's one of the things I'm thinking about. Up front is Vissa, Mateta, Isak. Likeliest change that I make is either Ahmad for Mateta or just keep it as is. So for now, it's going to be like this. I should actually change the vice captain to Trent. Yeah, probably just do vice captain Trent. All right, so there we go. Let me wrap up with your questions. Gehi or Mazraoui? I'm going to go Mazraoui here for the home fixture. Need funds for Slot. Gordon out. Do I bring Kluivert in or Rogers? Are you keeping Slot for Gameweek 25? Yes, I'm probably going to keep Slot for 25, especially if Liverpool double. Do I bring in Kluivert or Rogers? I would prefer Rogers because there's a greater chance that he doubles in 2025. Jackson to Watkins or Vissa. If you can do Watkins, do Watkins. -8 for Slot. Very team dependent, this one. I have 2 Liverpool players. Gonna have to go Gordon out with Kluivert in. Maybe for a minus. 2 Liverpool players have to go Gordon out. Oh, you mean money-wise? Like to free up funds. Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Should I play Henderson or Flecken this week? Probably Henderson. Wolverine says, thank you, Leon, you're a star. Happy Chinese New Year and have a great weekend. Thank you very much, Wolverine. I appreciate that. When is the next best game week for Triple Captain for those who want to use the AM for Slot this week? The next best game week, I'd say, is game week 33. Liverpool will have Leicester as the first fixture, and then depending on what's the next double, I think that's probably the next best chance to use it. But the only issue with 33 is that you might want to use the bench boost in that week as well. For the time being, it's likely that 33 is the bigger double. And if that's the case, then you bench boost in 33, you triple captain in 36 instead. 36, it's likely that Man City would have a pretty good double in 36. So there will be opportunities down the line. There will be opportunities. Would to Gakpo for -4? No, I wouldn't do that. Bench 2, Munoz, Gabriel, Hall, Ahmad, Munoz, and man, this is tricky. Okay, either one of Gabriel or Ahmad. Either one. Cheers, Yen. Thank you for tuning in. Good luck to all as well. Green arrows for everyone. What about playing Greaves over Timber instead? I won't put you off it. It's very close, that one. There's no Eze to support Mateta, so do the swap. But they have other creative assets though. But I do agree with you. Eze's absence does hinder Mateta a little bit. Wood or Vissa? I prefer Vissa for the next few. Njai or Vissa in. If you can afford Vissa, I prefer Vissa. Can we get Leon to 200 likes? Are we closing in? Probably not. But thank you still for everyone who has firstly subscribed. I know a lot of people started subscribing after I did a shout out. So thank you all for subscribing. And thank you for coming down for the Game Week 24 deadline stream. I hope I managed to get to everyone's questions. If not, I hope you guys get green arrows. Thank you for sticking around, all 200 plus of you guys. And for the members who are in the chat, I will be moving over to the Discord for the next few hours, at least next 2 hours until the deadline, to chat with you guys there if you guys have any questions. Right, so see you guys there for the members. If not, for those of you guys who have tuned in so far, I wish you all the best for Gameweek 24. And I will see you in the Gameweek 25 content. I'll have a transfer plans video coming out tonight after the last game. So keep a lookout for that one. Future planning involved as well. But for now, all the best for 24. Hopefully you sort out your chips and have at least one that you're playing. All right, so I'll leave it there. And I'll catch you in the Gameweek 25 content coming soon. Bye-bye.